The people who choose to stay unseen. Have you ever noticed how some people simply disappear from social media? Not dramatically, not with an announcement. They just stop posting. In a world where everyone shares everything from morning coffee to personal crises, these individuals choose silence. And most people misunderstand them. They assume shyness, insecurity, or even antisocial behavior. But psychology suggests something very different. People who post less often tend to show higher levels of emotional independence and self-reflection. They're not afraid of being seen. They've simply questioned what being seen actually means in the digital age. To them, visibility is no longer proof of existence. When sharing becomes performing, social media promised connection. What it quietly delivered was performance. Think about the last time you shared something meaningful online. You didn't just post it, you edited it, adjusted the photo, rewrote the caption, considered how it might be received. By the time you hit share, the moment had already changed. It stopped being a lived experience and became a curated one. Slowly, life begins to feel less like something you experience and more like something you present. The hidden trade. Validation for ownership. Every time we share something personal online, there's an unspoken exchange happening. We trade ownership for validation. Psychologists refer to this as psychological ownership, the feeling that an experience belongs entirely to you. But once it becomes public, that ownership weakens. Your joy becomes open to interpretation. Your struggles become content. Your life becomes something people consume. And some people eventually decide that the cost is too high. The moment people start pulling back. Most people who stopped posting weren't always private. They participated. They shared. They engaged. Then something shifted. Maybe they noticed how exhausting it felt to constantly document their lives. Maybe they realized they were watching moments through a screen instead of actually living them. Or maybe they simply grew tired of performing a version of themselves for an invisible audience. What once felt like connection started to feel like obligation. The dopamine loop. No one talks about every like, every comment, every notification. Each one triggers a small release of dopamine, the same chemical linked to habit and addiction. Over time, the brain begins to associate sharing with reward. And without realizing it, people start measuring experiences by how shareable they are rather than how meaningful they feel. But those who step away break that loop. They stop outsourcing their sense of worth to an audience. Life. Without constant observation. There's a subtle psychological pressure that comes with social media. The feeling of always being watched. Even when you're not posting, there's an awareness that you could be. That your life is potentially visible at any moment. Researchers call this self-presentational pressure, the stress of managing how you appear to others. When people stop posting, that pressure slowly fades. And in its place, something unexpected appears. Relief. When you stop documenting everything, something changes. Moments feel more private. Conversations feel more real. You begin to notice who reaches out without needing a post as a reminder of your existence. You discover which relationships exist beyond the algorithm. People who step away from posting often report feeling calmer, more grounded, and more emotionally stable. Not because their lives became perfect, but because they stopped performing them. The power of living unseen. Choosing not to post isn't about rejecting technology or isolating from others. It's about choosing authenticity over performance. Some moments don't need witnesses. Some memories don't need documentation. Some experiences become more meaningful when they remain entirely your own. Privacy isn't loneliness. Silence isn't emptiness. And being unseen doesn't mean being insignificant. Sometimes the most powerful way to exist is to live fully without needing the world to watch. If this made you think differently about social media, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy deep psychological insights like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, because here we explore the mind beneath the surface.